success, and not necessarily where the run game is or even the pass game, but from your perspective, having to pass block as much as you are right now. I know there's always been that thing where like offensive line like to talk about like, oh, we'd rather run block, pass block. Like, what's the thought process when you're pass blocking as much as you are like the last 3 weeks?
I mean, I love the pass block. I think it's really fun to do. It's fun to play. It's fun to win. When you do that, because it's a hard job to do. So when you win, you got to celebrate it. However, you do like to throw in some run game every now and then, just to have a switch up. So but again, I put the reasoning for that being the past couple of weeks. I'm put the ownership on us. We gotta show the staff how much more explosive that we can be. That way they trust to call it. The way they trust to switch it up. That way if we go 5 passes in a row, we're going to throw in them couple run plays and then get back to, doing what we do because we trust Jacoby and they trust us to protect Jacoby. And, but again, we got to have that variation. You know what I mean? It's essential.
So what has to happen to get the run game going? What's going to be most important that should get it in gear?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to ratchet the inner jip to get it done. I was talking with the O-line this week, and I was like, we have to put it on us. The fact that we're not, choosing to call those runs, we have to put that on us. We can't start to look around and be like, why is it not happening? We have to take that as we got to build that trust, and we have to create that, and we have to force it. And if we're not choosing to force it with our play and with the movement, then that's on us completely. We're not going to look around and be like, this is what should be happening. All that talking about, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to block a soul, So we just have to force it with the movement. We create the violence that we come off the ball with to the point where we have nothing else to do except to come back to it. And so ultimately what happens in Tampa Bay in the run game is ultimately going to be on us to show them that that's what we should be doing.
With a team like Tampa and Todd Bowles specifically, who's known for his disguising blitzes, what is the communication like on the offensive line and the preparation to prepare for that defense?
Yeah, I mean, the communication that we have each and every week is going to be there. That's one thing that we choose to pride ourselves on is how much we're going to be talking at the line of scrimmage. I heard that Tampa Bay is a loud environment, so continuing to talk even louder to make sure things are clear, continue to recall things that Froholt might be saying that Evan's hearing that I need to be able to hear. I know that's going to be important down there. That way we don't have anybody that's starting to have a free hit on the quarterback.
Harris, do you load up on Thanksgiving food?
See, I really don't eat that much, on Thanksgiving. I like to try a little bit of everything. That way, the first plate is kind of the tester plate. I'm kind of seeing what's hitting that day. So the second plate, that's really what I'm loading up on those 2-3 things. That way I can really get full on those 2-3 things that were my essentials. So I'm kind of, you don't want to go too heavy on everything. And now, your plate, now you're getting full off, I'm like, dang, I could have got another bite of that.
What are the essentials?
Depends who's cooking. You know what I mean? Depends who's cooking.
You're not wasting a rep on Thanksgiving.
I don't want to waste any reps. First, it's like the warm-up process. I'm warming up on the first plate, and I'm going to make things happen. It's going to be violent on the second plate,
Who on the offensive line could put down the most plates?
Will Hernandez, without a doubt. I think you guys would be able to picture that one. He doesn't take a warm up, He just attacks, So
So if you're on top of your game, right? What's the over/under most plates you could get after if you really had to? How many plates?
Man, I mean, if I didn't eat that morning, it's Thursday practice. I'm not eating before, hungry all practice. Like I'm filling to the brim, like to the outskirts. Where there's like no handle to really grab it. You have to grab the plate underneath. Unless you're like fingers on a macaroni. Probably like 3 plates. You know what I mean? Probably 3. Probably averaging. But we got guys on this line. Will Hernandez throw some down. I imagine Beach could throw a lot down. Isaiah Adams he's an underdog candidate to like go crazy. For Canada, we don't know how they get down up there. You know what I mean? It's a wild card.
Now, do you leave room for dessert?
I'm not really a big dessert guy. Not usually.